And Nino.
Hey, what's going on, Luciana? How are you?
Good. You doing all right?
I'm doing okay, not too bad. I'm kind of it's been every day I'm learning a little bit more how bad it is. You know what I'm saying? But I think I'm doing okay. I think I've got a plan of action and it's going to be juicy. The TLDR is I'd like you guys to give me a rep for Cyprus. They will get access to every piece of active legislation. Actually, do you want to meet somewhere? Well, Lucy? Oh my God. They're going after Cyprus now. Hey. Hello? Hello? Lucy? Oh. Hello?
Hey, sorry about that. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right, my bad.
No, you're good. Do you want to meet in person? Say place?
No, I'm on the move right now, so it's gonna be a little difficult for that.
You're
Just,
good. You're
I had
good.
a couple
Till you follow me.
questions
Yes.
since I know you're busy. Two things. When is voting end today?
I'm assuming tonight. It's one of those things. It's like literally like a pop-up election. You know what I mean? So.
And it's just at the courthouse, just like it always is, yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Yesterday we had a conversation and went through I guess the pros and the cons, if you want to call it that. But you never really explained what the legislation was itself.
Yeah. I mean, I can go through it.
Yeah.
Do you want me to meet with your crew, or do you want me to go through it right now?
Nah, you can just tell me.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now.
Off the top of my head, we've got the give me a second. I gotta run by the voter booth area. I don't want someone to have a fucking aneurysm that I'm too close to the vote. Do you imagine that? I talk about legislation running by like the one hallway that leaves the fucking mayor's office. All right. Give me one sec. Do. Okay. We've got the air one, and that opens up civilian air. TLDR is there's gonna be candidates for like people put themselves up, like nominate, like, hey, I'm gonna be like the air guy. We select one, right? Whoever seems to be best fit, and then PD make sure that they are like not a terrorist, pretty much. You know what I mean? Like not gonna have any problems with them being the air guy. And that civilian air guy is then going to be responsible for like training civilian pilots, issuing the licenses, all that kind of jazz. So we're trying to prop up the airline industry. The second is going to be MOPEC. So this does two things. One is, I'm trying to do a little bit of fracking, see if we can get the oil industry up and going, right? So pay people to like do like surveys up at the oil fields. In addition to that, it's going to be a material reserve for Los Santos County. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get, this is where, what's his name? Oh my Lord. Oh my God, why am I blanking? Wyatt, from the Lumber Union, is going to run new state sanitation workers and also buy material at a higher cost and then subsidize it directly to mechanic shops. We don't know if it's going to be like 50,000 a week, 100,000 a week material. It's going to be whatever's necessary to make sure that the various mechanic shops in the city and Mosley's are getting enough parts that we no longer have this problem with no shop has any parts left. So,
Okay. Actually really fucking good, yeah. I mean, you mentioned this today, we met, at that building with Lang and all that. That part, at least.
wait, say again?
You mentioned this, the whole thing with the material stuff, so that's really good.
Yeah.
Last time we met.
Good. Yeah, I don't remember what, I do so much like Gap in the different crews that I forget like who I told what. The next thing is the big PP and the penis heck. Now these are the business ones. So we've got the general business one that opens up for business licenses, all that kind of jazz. And then you got I think the penis, I might have it backwards, which is specifically mentioning like, here's how the mechanic stuff's gonna work. Here's how the tow businesses are gonna work. Here's how so these are, what we're doing is we're putting like standards in place for mechanic shops so we can sign them off as mechanic businesses. For the tow stuff, it's gonna be like actual tow companies coming into play where they're gonna get bonus money for moving vehicles from Mission Row PD, from the hospital, from like very specific locations. So actual toll drivers are encouraged to move actual vehicles out of the way instead of like making money off local cars, right?
Okay, that's good.
They're also going to enable those businesses to get PD tow certifications so that they, these civilians, tow guys, can actually move like impounded vehicles and all that shit. Because right now it's like a shit show. And so, the state would, pay them a $2,000 bonus or whatever it might be. So what I'm hoping to see is like a full red tow trucks with like certain gear with like, I don't know, Willie's tow. And then Julian Turbo's like, I don't know, purpled out tow trucks. That's a tow company. You know what I mean? So in other words, it's like, we're trying to make them so it's not just like random people doing shit. It's like empowers them to make a business out of what exists.
Yeah.
And then you've got the tax legislation where it puts 10% tax on every business. Now, we broke it down so that it's 10% for every business. That includes stalls. Now, that 10% is just the number that I thought was fair. This is after your expenses. So, for example, let's say you run a business and it's costing you $50,000 in materials, right? And $10,000, but you're making $60,000. That means it would be 10% on the $10,000 profit. Now, I've left it open so that how you report it on the books is how you report it on the books based on your level of tolerance, right? I know there's a lot of fear going around with the stalls, but that is a side effect of Angel and Ursula spreading misinformation, knowing that people are not going to go to the government website and actually look at it. The way that it works is I did not want these like dog shit stalls that don't know how to run business from just like fucking around keeping closed. So that's why it's going to be $50,000 a week and then the 10% tax, whichever is greater. What this means is as follows. Like, what does this mean for the hot dog shop, right? It means that as a shop that is running properly, you're going to easily get the 50,000. But what isn't is the shop that doesn't operate, right? They're going to bleed 50,000 until they sell it off, right?
Correct.
But what that also means is that you only pay because you're making over like $500,000 or whatever, you end up paying the 10%, right? Now you might be like, well, why should I pay this money? It's because the state is not making money outside of real estate. I'll be transparent with you. We are now up to about $40 million in the state account. By the end of Sandy Saturday, it's going to be $30 million. And the only reason it went that high is because the Vagos properties opened up. It's not like an endless pool of money, right? We're going to go right back down to like $1 million in probably the next like 2 weeks, right? It's the economic tools are pretty shitty. But why do we need that money? We need that money because it opens up the opportunity to like get like music labels up and going, all these kind of businesses that there is no construction for, right? So without that tax money, we cannot do more interesting things, and that's why it's 10% across. Now, each one of these things can be adjusted. Once it is in place, I want conversations. Like, you come to me, other stall owners come to me, hey, 10% is too high, whatever, let's reduce it to 5%. I just go and change the tax. You know what I mean? So,
Right. Okay. So basically, it's because we're already getting taxed what 15% for every purchase, every little thing we buy.
The customer is, yeah, but the business isn't.
Aha.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I
a
see.
sales tax, just like other businesses across the country. The
Right.
companies,
Nothing's for free. I get that. Yeah.
yeah. And now, with that said, now the thing with stall owners is between this and the subsidy thing that I've been doing with you guys, I'm already going to be sending subsidies your way. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a matter of like either I want you to think about it this way, right? If I don't tax the stalls or don't tax certain businesses, I get impeached because I'm not taxing fairly. But nothing stops me from giving subsidies to targeted businesses. You
Right.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
This legislation is to keep my nose clean. Unfortunately, it's getting spun as Nino's taking all our money. When the fact of the matter is, I am not going to be able to fuck over the people that put me into office, right? And what that means is that, if there's problems, make sure it gets fixed. So.
Okay.
Yeah. I think
All
that
right.
covers everything. There's
Yeah.
also
Overall, sounds fucking good.
There's 2 new pieces of legislation coming through as well. It's the Hank Act, which is for pets, and the second one is the social committee, which is like Peach's way of like doing fun PD related events. And events need food, they need other services, and that's where the mayor's office finds a business that's registered and make sure they get their shit done. So
All right. Well,
right.
I think that's all I needed to actually know.
Okay.
I'll make some moves on my end. All right.
All right. I think it's end of day today. I want to say, I don't know. I have to double check. Like I said, it's just like spur of the moment. So now it's chaotic, right?
All right.
We'll
do everything we can.
One thing that I'm planning to do is I'm effectively trying to start the first Los Santos. I want someone from Cyprus to have direct access to all our legislation. So as it's coming through, they see it getting updated. And, if there's any questions, and concerns, you guys can make those suggestions up front. Because the problem with the system right now, Luciano, is we put it up on the city hall. Everyone can see it. I put out announcements, but genuinely speaking, nobody reaches out. And now all of a sudden we've done all this work, but nobody knows it exists, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Because there's more visibility.
Correct. So, yeah.
All right. We're looking forward to further working with you, Nino.
Yep. Absolutely.
Looking forward to it.
You let me know if you need anything.
Appreciate the information.
Yeah? Anytime.
Yep. Thanks,
All
brother.
right.
Take it
Take
easy.
care.
Say hi to Tilly for me. All right. Goodbye.
Will do. Bye.